Thank you for nice clinical presentation. For next presentation of this session, I would like to call upon Dr. Manjiri Gokhale with a different subject. Dr. Manjiri Gokhale.
रिमोट आहे इथून कर हां ते मला ऑपरेट करायला असतं तर बरं झालं असतं. हरि ओम. I've come with the in a panel of doctors, a non-doctor person here, speaking to a panel of doctors here, but hope you can give me a good hearing. I'm going to speak on understanding infertility from the perspective of past life regression. Myself, I'm a past life regression therapist, and this is our experience which I'm sharing to you. Please, next. So, past life regression, I hope how many of you all know, I don't know. We go to the past life memories, and those past life memories are the present life memories also, right up to the childhood, but that is called as age regression. Then we go to the birthing process in utero, that is womb experiences. We can go to the past lives, past deaths, and other dimensions and planes like the Pitrulok, Svargalok, and we can travel the other dimensions and we can rectify the problems there. So we have these memories right inside our cells of the body, what we call as the Vijnanamay Kosh and all. In those levels, these memories. Past life regression therapy is very old. It is more than 100 years old. Though in India it has come just 10 years ago. Sigmund Freud, he used it first as age regression. That time it was called as psychic determination, but now what we call it as age regression. And a few more in the 20th century, Carl Jung. There are many Jungian therapy, that type of therapy they use. There are many who are practicing right now also. Can you just next? I would like to highlight this, Stanislav Grof and Denise Kelsey and Joan Grant. These are the persons who have done a lot of research on womb experiences, infertility and all the subjects related to today's topic. So maybe you all would be interested in reading their books directly. And the 20th century and 21st century persons who have done a lot of research work in this. Most of them are still alive and still practicing. Next. So first of all, past life regression is not the goal. We have to understand that past life regression is the method we use to understand infertility and heal infertility. Next. Success of past life regression therapy is in participation and not in the belief system. So even if somebody doesn't believe in past life regression, it is fine, only you need to participate in it. Participation in the sense that when I say, now you need to imagine, so you should allow yourself to imagine. Your logic will come in. We use non-hypnotic methods, but there are hypnotic methods also. But when I use non-hypnotic methods, your left brain is continuously working, your logical mind is continuously working, so you should just allow yourself to say that okay, I will imagine, just even if you think it is fun. Okay, next. So we should be interested in the goal that whatever I need to heal has to get healed, and that's it. Next. So memories, we deal with memories in past life regression healing, and those are energy patterns inbuilt our body, inbuilt our every cell of our body, in every organ. Next. Our clients, I would like to say something about our clients. Usually people who come to us as for past life regression healing, they come to us as a curiosity. They never tell what their problem is. Okay, so people coming for infertility issues also, there have been many who come, but they don't say we have come for such and such problem. But luckily this therapy is such that we don't need anything because it is a self-healing technique. So the highlighted issues in your mind automatically get healed when we do the regression process. Next. No, you just go to, it can be next. Past life regression, what we have seen is, I have categorized into 3 types, that the causes may be in past lives, injuries to the genitals or abdominal region due to torture, rapes and accidents. I am talking about past lives, even this lifetime. But I think in this lifetime, all you doctors do a lot of work and you can heal this in a better way, I think. But in past lives, if such and such things have happened, modern medicines, even Ayurveda, will not be able to handle it properly. So sexual abuses to females as well as males, death of infants or children which parents have viewed. In supposing in my past life, I have viewed death of my child, in this lifetime I come with a mindset that I better don't have children than to see my child die. So even if everything is okay with my constitution, I don't bear children, I don't get conceived, and that is the what happens in the intellectual. The Vijnanamaya Kosha has this issue in the mind. And we, in past life regression, we go there and heal it. Tortures, rapes, previous one. Tortures, rapes, sexual abuses to children happening in front of a parent, similar things. Death during pregnancy, the fetus dies in the mother's womb itself. Okay? Mother dies, so the fetus dies. And so the mother carries a guilt feeling that I have killed my child while death. So the mother doesn't seem to have a child in the next birth. Again she gets those fear attacks even at the thought of having a child, even at the thought of conceiving. Next. Womb or birthing, the previous one. Womb or rebirthing, mother has tried to abort, means this is this lifetime, okay? This lifetime in the womb, if the mother has tried to abort the baby deliberately or even at the thought level that I don't want this child, or maybe somebody in the house is saying I don't want a girl child, and she is carrying a baby girl inside her as a fetus. Okay, so that time that baby, when she grows old or when he grows old, will feel that I should not have children because I have been abused when I was in my mother's womb. So they can develop it there. Emotional or physical abuses to pregnant mother, again the fear block comes at that time, gets highlighted. Death of a parent at the time of death, at the time of birth. Immediately after birth or when the child is still in the womb, that also affects it as a fear block in the mind. Accidents or intensive natural disasters during mother's pregnancy or immediately after birth. Next. It is sometimes the choice of the soul who opts infertility for higher purpose. This is one of the things we never consider, that sometimes a soul opts to be childless because he wants to serve a higher purpose, a social reform maybe, a spiritual reform maybe, something like that. And that is why that soul has decided that I won't be having children when I come to this life. But maybe because of some social stigmas or something like that, the soul forgets that I have decided this. So when we work on the life purpose, all of a sudden that person understands, oh my God, I had decided that I was not going to have children, so it's okay. So the fear, the stigma, the social stigma that I don't have a child is relieved and that person, so in a way it is healed. So we don't come, some people don't come with infertility as a problem, but they take it by choice. Next. I would, as I told you earlier, I would like to share some cases. Yeah. Only, I'll share this only one case with you. Next. Okay. She had come to us with the problem of indigestion, and she had taken treatment for about 4 to 5 years maybe for infertility, which we were not aware of. But when she took treatment from us, she was a rape victim, a war rape victim in her past life. In her 2 lifetimes she was a victim, and then we healed her memories, and then automatically she conceived a child within 3 to 5 months something. Okay, so the time is up, so I would like to stop here. We can share more also. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Manjari. Our next paper presentation speaker is Dr. Sujata Shaktar. Actually, Science College. I welcome Dr. Sujata on the dais, and I welcome to introduce